Hey, Mary, back with another video. It's November 14th, 10:48 a.m. I got up about maybe an hour ago. I got up around 5 earlier today and then went back to sleep. So I think I'm trying to kind of stabilize my sleeping pattern. The last few days I did run to the store for a few minutes for a little bit to grab some food, and then I came back in the house, and I just been pretty much kind of moping around the house, you know, just kind of twiddling my thumbs. You know, I don't know exactly what's going on in my life right now, and I think that's the biggest frustration when you are a targeted individual. You don't know how to plan or organize your life or think about, you know, what you're supposed to do. You do everything you can to get out of your situation, but it's very difficult to do. I was hoping that, you know, this year I would have a Thanksgiving, you know, although I don't really know anyone. I figured I'd have my son over and have Thanksgiving dinner, and, you know, I don't have money for that, you know. Yesterday I got notified by the landlord, you know, I got to hurry up and pay my rent, and I'm more than aware of that. I knew when I was going to get unemployment, I knew that the unemployment was not going to be enough to live on. I knew that. I knew it. Because, you know, the situation that was relating to my employment in the last, in 2015, and then not making enough money at my last job, you know, to, you know, really be able to collect enough on unemployment. Unemployment's not enough anyway, whether you're getting the maximum or not. But I would be much better off if I was getting the maximum of unemployment. So I'm just basically trying to scrape by and, you know, try to pay my utility bills, eking out payments here, and then trying to get food, you know. And, you know, it's like, it's very difficult indeed, I'm telling you. So, you know, I try to help my situation as much as I possibly can. You know, I do what I can to look for work. You know, I've responded to job ads, and I've also done independent job searches, and I'm tired. You know, I'm drained. You know, this has been one of the most exhausting situations I've ever been in. You know, and every day I keep thinking, oh, I hope it gets better. I hope it gets better. You know, I'm just at the end of my rope at this point, you know. Yeah, I'm exhausted, you know, and rightfully so, because, you know, oftentimes, you know, I'm dealing with a lot of people that are wasting my time. I don't have the time to waste. I don't have the time to waste. I really don't. I'm aggravated and frustrated, you know, over this whole situation. So, you know, I've been listening to this music. This is like some, you know, relaxing music. You know, the tones are supposed to help calm me down, you know, and I've been trying to keep myself as mellow as I can. I'm not putting a lot of stress on myself. I'm just trying to, you know, get my head on straight. You know, it's very hard to do, you know, because everything that you do when you're a targeted individual doesn't seem to quite work out as planned. I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy. I really wouldn't. So I'm, you know, today I'm just kind of trying to finish my project. You know, it's very hard when you're dealing with this sort of stress. You know, it's always in the back of your mind. You know, luckily my son's helping me out with the rent this month, and I'm very grateful. I'm tired of having to rely on, you know, his assistance, you know, because I really feel as though, you know, I'm the parent, and, you know, I've been thinking about how long my family has been doing this to me and putting me in these awkward situations. And, you know, I remember when I first started working, well, I mean, I've always had a job since I was 17 years old, but, you know, I just remember when I first started working, you know, I was always under stress because they were putting pressure on me at work, and, you know, creating problems then, and now I'm just like, oh my God, you know, 20 years, this has been going on for 20 years. Now, mind you, they did it at my very first job too, when I was working at a pizza place. I was 17 years old, it was my first job, and, I will say, you know, when I'm looking at the span of the length of time that these people have been literally wrecking everything that I've tried to do in my life, And now my son is already grown, you know, and I'm thinking, my God, how can these people be the way that they are? Why would they do something like this to anybody? You know, you can't help but think that, you know. And then, but really at this point, you know, like I said, it's not even so much anger. It's just like I'm more in a state of, I don't know. I don't know how I feel, you know. Some people would feel anger. I think I've already gone through all of that, you know. I'm just like, I'm like, it's beyond words at this point, you know. I just do what I can, you know. That's all I can do, you know. So my son gets paid on Friday, and then I get money on Monday, and so I can take care of the rent then. And I'm tired of paying the rent late. I'm sick of it. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of calling up the gas and electric company and trying to, you know, finagle payments. I'm tired of, you know, having very little food to eat and mostly resting because I don't have enough food in the house. It gets to be tiring, you know, it really does. And all I can do is just kind of, you know, wait around and hope that things get better. You know, some people will say, well, you need to get out there. I have done everything I could. I have done everything. That doesn't mean I'm giving up. It's just like, you know, what else can you do? You know, what else can you say? You know, how do you make people understand? You know, I don't, this should have never happened, you know. 600 some odd videos. I'm like, I don't even know exactly how many numbers it is. I think it might be maybe 650, maybe, I don't know. I could be wrong, maybe I am, but I know that I'm way past the 600 video mark, and it's exhausting and it's excessive. It's something that it's like this unreal feeling that you get. Like, how in the world could somebody put somebody in this situation? How? You know? You should feel safe at your workplace. You should feel safe. You shouldn't feel like you know, your privacy is compromised, or somebody is, you know, could come in and start harassing you or whatever. You should never feel that way. You should never feel that way at your workplace. I don't know. You know, I mean, it would be really nice. You know, I haven't had Christmas in like 4 years, basically, since 2000. I would say since 2014. I mean, yeah, I had like a Christmas dinner. You know what I mean? But like, I haven't been able to buy my son any gifts or anything like that. It's been very, very strange for the longest period of time, you know, and it's basically being punished for something that should have never happened, you know. I am extremely tired today, so I'm pretty much committed to just kind of staying in the house, you know. There's really nowhere for me to go, or do, for that matter. Like I said, I'm trying to finish my project, you know. Most of the time when I feel like I can't accomplish something or get something done, it's mostly due to anxiety. And I've had so much anxiety. I've had more anxiety in my life than the average person, all because of people who basically can't mind their own business, you know. This is so weird, you know. It is very weird, and it's tiresome. And I wonder how people can live with themselves when they put someone in this sort of situation. I've often wondered that. Like, how can you look in the mirror and see and be satisfied with who you are as a person, knowing that you can be so goddamn evil, is what I want to know, you know? It's a question that is going to constantly be in my mind. My voice is kind of raspy right now. I'm just kind of kicking back here and kind of doing some light reading and trying to clean up the house a little bit. You know, I'm not going to do a whole lot today. I will work on my spreadsheet, and then I still have to finish my hat, which I haven't done in a while. just been feeling so, like, withdrawn lately. Just tired, and not so much tired, but more like, I don't know, confused. Confused, that's a good word for it, you know what I mean? I don't like getting unemployment. I really don't. I mean, I'm the kind of person, I would rather just go out and get another job before I even collect unemployment. It's kind of I mean, it's good for, you know, to fall back on if you really have to, but I'm the kind of person, I don't like anything like that. I don't like those sort of things because you end up having to pay taxes on it. I worked like crazy to try to find a job. You know, I've actually made phone calls, you know, independent job searches, independent of, like, you know, what do you call it, employment ads or whatever. I'm going to walk into the other room. Yeah, I'm in my little pajamas here. I have done everything that, you know, most people really shouldn't have to do. Gone out of my way and trying to do things for myself, you know. I like, I don't know what to think anymore, you know. I really don't. It's like, you know, criminals get treated better than I get treated. It's just ridiculous. It really is, you know. Yeah, I need to really do something about, do I get dressed today? Do I not get dressed today? Depends, you know. I try to, you know, take care of myself as much as I possibly can. You know, I don't like to sit here and be sloppy and just, you know, veg out and, like, not take care of myself. You know, I don't like days where I'm just sitting around and moping, letting the house just, like, fall apart, get all junky, and and then, you know, don't get dressed or anything like that. Maybe I will later, but I just woke up right now. And usually, like I said, I'm the kind of person, I get up and I start cleaning up the house. I start, you know, getting dressed and whatever. Today's one of those, I'm so fucking tired of dealing with all this shit. I am. I'm so tired of it already. You know? In normal circumstances, I would be working by now. You know, in normal circumstances, meaning not being targeted, not having all these issues and these dramas, you know. I mean, I was willing to, oh, what's all this crap? I was willing to do temporary work, you know what I mean? Which would have been fine for me. I would prefer, you know, permanent work, but, you know, it's like, I'm not even permitted or somehow or whatever to work a temporary job. You know, I can't get the assistance that I'm looking for. And it's like, why all the bullshit? Why? For what reason? You know what I mean? Being a target, it is very frustrating indeed, you know, and, I mean, you have to be brave to a certain extent to be a target, because, you know, obviously, you know, you feel like you're being attacked, and you're being attacked for reasons that really aren't justified, you know what I mean? I can't make any sense of it anymore, you know? I just can't, you know? I mean, it seems like it's almost conflicting, like their reasons got kind of distorted, like they somehow lost sight of the reason why they were targeting me, but just continue to target me just for the sake of targeting me, you know what I mean? Some of it just gets to be so confusing and so, you know, convoluted, like, you know, where in the world, or, I mean, I understand, you know, what happened back in 2008, I understand the lying to my husband, but all the other, I mean, I don't get it, I don't, and none of it makes any sense to me, none of it does, you know, and, I'm assuming that that's the case with all targeted individuals. It's like a game that people want to play with your life, and it's like it just goes to show you how sick people are. I was watching a video. Sometimes I get on Facebook every once in a while. People post all kinds of stuff. They post everything from people who are pretending to be bums on the street, and or some people. Like there was this one guy. He was basically, I think he was like a kid, okay? He was like a 15-year-old kid. He was pretending that he was homeless. And, it looked kind of legit. I mean, you never know. But it was like people were just walking right by this kid. You know what I mean? And I keep thinking in the back of my mind, look how people are towards people. Look how, now I don't know if that would go through other people's mind, but it certainly went through mine. I'm like, if you see a kid on the street, and they don't have a home, my first thing would be like, well, where are your parents? I would be more likely to involve myself to some degree. I may not be able to take anyone home because obviously when you are you're encountering a stranger, you don't know what that kid is. I mean, that kid could be somebody who might murder you or whatever, but you would at least try to get them some sort of assistance. But you see these people walking right by this kid, and nobody seems to give a shit. And I'm sure, they all feel like they're good, Christian, law-abiding people, and that they could, how could somebody like that, how could you do that? You know what I mean? Well, finally there was one guy, he was homeless himself, okay, who, approached the boy and gave him his jacket, you know what I mean? And so, of course, it was revealed that he was actually, this was all a setup, and I those kind of things kind of, I don't know, I kind of roll my eyes at those kind of scenarios a little bit. But still, they gave the guy $500 or whatever, and he was happy, and it was all a game. But still, you wonder, like, how is it that so many people could claim to be God-fearing people and be the heartless people that they are? It's eye-opening. It is. It's extremely eye-opening, So yeah, I've been struggling for basically 20 years. 20 years. Going to a job, having problems, being harassed at work, starting all over again, moving at times I'd move, and then bullshit would happen again. And that's the common theme of most targeted individuals. They'll say the same thing. They always say the same thing. I thought things would be different, so they moved there. And then guess what? Their family's behind it, so they're being trailed and they're being followed. It's like, why is it? Why? Obviously there's a lot of narcissism that goes on. Because they want you to work their jobs, and then they're never telling you that they set up their job, and that they get, like, angry with you if you do anything like what kind of, that's madness. It's madness. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. You're supposed to be living your own life. I will never forgive these people for putting me in this situation. I won't. I will never forgive them. I've gone through it in my mind. I'm like, well, how could you? Shouldn't you just, I forgive them in a sense where I don't want to think about them anymore, but I will never forgive them for this, ever. You know what I mean? And it goes way beyond, like I said, me lying to my husband. This has been going on for years, since I was a kid, and what a person can do as a kid, to create this sort of psychosis, this sort of psychotic behavior is, it's obviously, you're dealing with some sick people, very sick people. So anyway, I did my little video for the day. It's more like a rant than anything else, and just kind of an update as to what's going on in my life. So I'm going to try to, I'm taking care of the rent on half of it. I'm going to pay on Friday, and then the other half I'm going to pay on Monday, which I wish I had it right now, because it's very hard, I had to pay PG&E on my last paycheck that I got because I was already behind on that, and I'm trying really hard to, though the PG&E guy is supposed to come this week, to just kind of check over the wall heater. I haven't turned it on. Well, I did. I kind of switched it on, but then I kept thinking, you know what? I'd rather have him come out and take a look at it and see if it's going to work okay. And even if it does work okay, I have to really watch my energy usage because, you know, I don't really want the bill to get any higher than what it is. You know, I paid a good chunk of it already, but I'm just really not wanting to have any more problems. You know, I'm trying to do as best as I can. You know, I'm doing everything I can to look for work. I'm trying to be as positive as I possibly can. I'm tired. I'm just tired, you know what I mean? It's like I'm not picky. I don't have to have a manager job. I don't, you know what I mean? But I'm just trying to look for a job that's going to be able to give me some sort of stability and something that's constant, you know? And that's all I really care about, you know? And of course it's got to be something that I know how to do. I mean, I can't enter into an entry-level position at this age. I'm too old to sit here and try to figure out, you know, start a new type career and then try to take it from there. It's not going to work. I mean, I've already put in 20 years of my time doing something, so it doesn't make any sense to jump into something else. It just doesn't. So I'm just beyond tired. I'm tired. I'm fed up. I'm sick of it. You know, I'm trying to encourage people, don't do this to their families. Do not do this to their families. You know, I'll see what I can do after I get my paycheck on, I don't even like calling it a paycheck, my money on Monday, and see if maybe I can have a Thanksgiving this year. It's doing the best I can, you know what I mean? I'm trying to keep myself in the best mental frame of mind as I possibly can, but I will tell you, it's a struggle. Okay, I'm going to wrap up this video. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I will be back with another one shortly.